What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another live Pin the Gas podcast on this beautiful Monday afternoon or evening, depending on where you are at in the world. And Sunday was Mother's Day. So again, big shout out to all the mothers out there in the world. You guys, you queens are the ones that make it go round, right? So you too, Toni. Happy Mother's Day and all that good stuff. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute honor to get the legend Toni Sharpless in the hot seat tonight on the podcast. Welcome to the show, Toni.
Well, thank you, Chris. It's a real honor to be here because you've had some pretty heavy hitters and some fast and fancy people on your podcast. So I'm honored to be here.
The honor's all mine, Toni. It really is. Our good friend Rick Glover is the one that introduced me and you together. So big shout out to Rick. He will be joining us here in a few minutes. Aliki, I got another friend of mine, Aliki from Venom Sport Undersuits. Do you know Aliki? Have you heard of Venom Undersuits before? Can you hear me, Toni?
Sorry, that it got a little distorted there.
Have you heard of Aliki before from Venom Undersuits?
I've heard of Venom Undersuits, and Aliki is a Canadian, is she not?
Yeah, she is. Absolutely. She said y'all met at the track in Shannonsville.
Right. That's right. And she donated a bunch of tops and pants to like they were all in kid sizes. And this was 2 years ago. She just walked up with a box and she said, "Hey, can you use these, Toni?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, I can use these. Thank you so much."
I love it.
That was awesome.
Yeah, she's absolutely amazing, and I'm super excited to get an undersuit from Venom. So she's a good friend of mine. I'm super excited to support it and wear it and support her too as well.
Great.
She says Toni is a freaking legend. So happy you have her on your podcast. You guys met at Shannonsville and got to support the kids, right? Because that's why we're here. This is what it's all about, is supporting the future legends of our sport. It's very important. If we didn't have Toni, Michael Carrera, I forget the guy's name that just took over the Jersey SFL MiniGP. Man, what's his name?
It was Mike's partner, and isn't he the fellow that actually coined the phrase MiniGP?
I'm pretty sure he is. I forget his name. I want to say Giovanni.
Yeah, you know what? I'd have to dig for it. But yeah, when I was setting things up 5 years ago, I never talked to him, but Mike talked about him quite a bit.
Yeah, the whole what you do out there, which is the same thing we do here, is absolutely proper mega, as I always say, right? It's imperative we have what we do in our sport for, again, the future legends of the kids, because that's what it's all about. If we didn't have kids coming into the sport, where would we be? Which brings me, Toni, I always say this, like if you take the sum of our sport right now, CSBK, what's the average age in CSBK?
Well, dude, she's fast. I'll give you a couple of examples. So when I first started back again at the sport, I was away from it for a long time, and I came back after I had white hair, and I was looking around and this was in 2018. I was looking around the paddock, and there was a lot of other people with white hair. So I was like, wow, this isn't going to sustain itself. And that's, kind of what triggered me to end up where I am now, putting on mini GP races. And but to bring it home, I'm still racing lightweight class in the CSBK. And I don't make it on the podium very much, but we always go and cheer, the people on that are on the podium. And I'm happy to report, my husband pointed this out once. He said, "Hey, Tone, if you take all three of those people up there and take their ages and add them all up, they're still younger than you." The age is getting a little a little lower, you know, in the lightweight class. We got some young guns coming in. So yeah, it's good. And I think he was trying to give me a compliment in there somewhere.
100%. You know, Tony, it's funny you say that. I call it getting younger, right? And people say, why you always say getting older is getting younger? Well, it's
Yeah, I
simple.
like that.
Yeah, well, it's when we're
You're
born,
going
we wear
back to the
diapers,
way it was.
right? We have no teeth. We eat soft food. When we get older, we eventually end back up in diapers, no teeth, eat soft food again.
Yeah,
So it's all getting younger, but
exactly.
it's keeping it young right here in between the ears
Yeah.
is what helps, right?
Yeah, I just don't look in the mirror very often.
Oh, come on, girl. You gotta look in the mirror in the mirror and smile,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's always an honor to, in this short lifetime, to be friends with you and everybody else and to be able to do this. So it's absolutely amazing. But yeah,
I agree, but, you know, you always feel younger in your mind than you do when you look in the mirror and see yourself and how, you know, the effects of gravity and time and, oh, okay, that's going on. All right. But inside, I still feel like, you know, let's go. Let's do it.
I love it, man. I
Get
love it.
something. Let's get her done.
Let's get her done. I love it. Alan Burns says, LOL, us old folks feel younger around the kids. And that's
Yeah.
true, right? Being around
Yeah.
kids and watching them progress and grow and get faster. And then you go out there on the track and they just blow by you. You're like, yeah, this is.
Well, Alan's smart. He just shaved his head quite a long time ago, so you can't tell that he's got white hair. And he's still fast on a motorcycle, and he does a lot of work for me, helping. He's part of the team. So one of my friends that of the many that have stepped forward to come and help. So I'm really grateful to have Alan on board.
Thank you, Alan. Your commitment to the future legends of the sport is imperative. So thank you so much. It's you know, quite often there's a lot of people that put in a lot of their personal time and money and funding all these kids coming up, right? It's people like you and SFL, Jersey, Florida, and everybody come together to do it. It's absolutely amazing to be part of the journey and to see everything succeed, which is a huge deal.
Yeah, you know what's really cool is I was at the race on the weekend. There was a kid there that's come through our school. And we taught him how to ride a motorcycle, taught him how to drag his knee, and now he's racing a Ninja 500. And I was out on the track with him, and in the first practice, we had a little go back and forth. And oh my God, I was behind him, and I have goosebumps just talking about it. But I was just all smiles, and my heart was just full. Like, it was so cool to see that in front of me and have a front row seat. It was so cool.
You know, I feel super blessed in our lifetime that we, as a beautiful circus, meaning road racing in general, and that we have such a passion for something in this lifetime, right?
Mm-hmm.
That keep us focused and motivated, and at the end of the day, happy. It's an absolute beautiful thing to see. And again, thank you so much for doing what you do out there in Canada for all the future legends of the sport, because we all know we've had Miguel Dumel and Steve Crevier and Jordan Zote come down here and race before, right? So it's we got Torrin Collins, there's so many fast. Jack Butry, right?
Alex Dumas.
Yes, absolutely. It's a beautiful thing to see. It really is. So tell us about your journey, Toni. Where did your journey start for you on two wheels?
Well, I come from a family that my father was a motorcycle champion. And so I'm sitting in front of the pictures of the family, and my dad's on the left. And he did road racing, hare scrambles, trials. I don't remember him doing flat track, but I'm sure he did it tried everything, and carried the #1 plate for several different competitions. And so it was a natural that there'd be a mini bike under the Christmas tree one year. And I have two brothers, and the three of us fought over it. And that's how it all started.
Was you the
We were supposed to
faster?
learn how to share. That's what my mom.
It's hard to share one bike, right? Everybody's fighting over it. You're like, are you faster than your brothers?
Well, at that time, I had longer legs and longer arms, so I could run after them and pull them off the bike when I thought it was my turn. So I was faster in that instance. But as we got older and kind of zeroed in on our specialties, my one brother Todd, he did flat track, did that for 25 years, had a national number in the US, AMA national number, and was runner-up for championship in Canada. And then my other brother kind of zoned in on enduros and did ISDE. Has gold medals from the ISDEs. I think he's done, I don't know, 10 or 12 of them. So he had a long career as well. Todd did flat track for 25 years. And then I zeroed in on, after flat tracking with my brother for quite a few years, then I zeroed in on road racing. And that was mainly from a flat track friend that had done the transition a couple of years before me, and then said, Toni, you have to try it. You're going to love it because you like speed. You're going to love it. Sure enough, I got a RD 350 LC, brand new in 1982, and got it all wired up and loaded it up, drove down to the Penguin School in Michigan at Grattan, took the school, and then they let me start at the back of the grid. And I was in heaven. I finished 5th in that race, and I was hooked. That was it.
It was
crack cocaine for me. It was like I was addicted. That was it.
I call it smiles for miles, right? Because that's what it is. It's absolutely amazing. I love flat track racing. I think it is, me personally. Tell me what you think on this. I think it's one of the best ways to train for road racing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
100%.
You learn the traction brake and just feeling it, where when you're road racing, if you just go to road racing first, then it takes so much to feel that traction brake. It has to be either raining or your tires need to get greasy, or you need to put a whole lot of throttle into it. So, you won't feel that traction brake and really get accustomed to it. But flat track does that. It's really cool.
Yeah, I think it's really imperative just because of the fact you already touched on it, right? In order to progress, you got to be on the edge. So you got to find that very thin line to where you're crashing, but you're not crashing. You feel everything, and flat track absolutely helps you with that. People that I guess best way to say it, sit in their own comfort zone, that don't push to that certain limit, it's hard for them to progress versus somebody that goes out there and pushes it all the time. Of course, you end up wrecking too, but that's how you learn. That's how you get faster, is finding that traction. But it all varies depending on the day, the track condition, the tires, yada, yada, yada. So it's important to not only push yourself all the time when you're on the track, on the bike, but to find that limit. It's easy for somebody beginning to find that limit, and when they crash, they kind of don't understand what happened until they, get riding coaching and body position and watching the videos, and they say, okay, now I know, now I understand what I did wrong, and finding that limit, reaching that limit, and then kind of pulling back a little bit, but pushing to it at the same time to stay on that limit is everything.
I've seen different progressions out of the kids so far. And, some of the kids, that are really cautious and they don't push it to the limit. I've seen them they're really cautious for about a year or something. And then something just suddenly clicks, and then they're a rocket ship. I've seen this a couple of times, and it's really so. When the parents come to me and they say, "Oh, he's too cautious. I don't think he or she's gonna, be." I said, just keep them having fun and just see what happens, because I've seen these cautious kids. They all of a sudden that just something lights up. Yeah, it's really cool to see.
Yeah, you see almost this flip switch, and you're like, where did this speed just come from? Right? It's such a mental game, right? And I use this for everyday life because life's just as mental as road racing, right? So once you I want to say kind of overcome your fear of pushing that limit, and once you push it and you realize it, you're more comfortable at it, if that makes sense, right? So you break through your shell, so to speak. Next thing you know, you're like, where'd this speed come from? And who was this kid? You was, 15th last race. You're freaking podium every race now. It's a certain it's like, best way I can explain it. When you become a parent, there's a certain something that clicks inside your brain that just, you think different, you view the world different, you view yourself in a different way, if that makes sense, right? Because now you got this my everything, right, that you got to raise and teach them the force of the world. I'm gonna use a Star Wars trilogy, right? Use the force, my young Padawan. So yeah, it's awesome.
I don't have any kids that I know about, Chris. So I'm gonna have to take your word on that.
You do. You have a bunch of them that you're racing right now. So that's absolutely, you do. And again, you are a proper mega for doing what you do. I love what you do. We need more people.
And you know what's really cool, Chris, is watching that confidence, finding that they can do it. And then you see the confidence growing in them, and they start to walk a little taller, and their shoulders back and their head up, and looking you in the eye, and they're just gaining that confidence. Is so cool to see that that motorcycle racing can do that for some kids. And not every kid can find that team sports is their thing. Like, they try basketball and hockey, and it's just not their thing. But then they come to motorcycle racing and they just light up. So it's really, I'm really glad that, we can offer a way to get introduced to it.
And at the end of the day too, I can only imagine the pride you feel within yourself doing what you do, raising these kids to be fast and teaching them the correct way. And out of all the kids that's going to come out of here, there's going to be one or two that's going to be a proper mega future champion, right?
Yeah.
And on the world stage. And what an honor it was, and it is, to be part of each and every single child's journey, whether it's a male or a female. And I'm a big believer that females belong in the sport just as much as men do. 110%. To me,
anybody, in the 80s, we raced with a guy that only had one hand. I mean, he had to hold the clutch with his arm, and he held it in, and he held the throttle wide open, and then he'd just like do this, and he'd had just kind of like a hook, and it would just hang on so he could push and pull the thing. I mean, and then we've had some people come to the school that are in wheelchairs, and we lift them up, put them on the bike, and we strap their feet on and everything. And we teach them how to, ride. Now, the caveat is that they did know how to ride a motorcycle before. We weren't teaching them from scratch, but the joy on their face when they're, doing it again, they just love it. So, and yeah, I'm sure everybody saw Rainey ride the bike again at
Goodwill.
Or what was it?
Goodwill. Yeah, the Festival of Speed out there in the UK.
Goodwood. Yeah.
Goodwood. I said Goodwill. That's the club store. Goodwood. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's yeah. So I think motorcycling is for everyone. It doesn't matter if male, female. old, young, or have something that you need to work around. It's really it just, you know, when you get your first bicycle and you feel that speed moving, yeah, that's I mean, you can't replace that.
The freedom.
Yeah, it's freedom.
You
Yeah.
can't. It's like, you know, the closest thing I've ever done to having that freedom is skydiving. That's like the most free
Right.
you could be, right? Other than that, nothing's ever come close to motorcycles but skydiving for me personally. I'm sure it might be different for everybody else because everybody's got their own little niche that they like to do, right? So
Yeah, I've always wanted to do that, but I was too chicken, and plus I
should.
don't think my knees would handle the landing. It yeah, that must be a real thrill jumping out of an airplane. Oh my gosh, that's
It's
really cool.
yeah, it's hard to put into words. And coming from me, I was scared of heights. That's how I overcome my fear of heights. Like, what's the most extreme thing I can do? Jump out of an airplane.
Right.
Here we go, right? Like,
Yeah.
again, it's a mental block I had in my head, scared of heights, right? I conquered that. Now I'm still a little timid when I get super high, but for the most part, I'm like, I jumped out of a plane at 11,000 feet. I'm good, right? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
good 20 feet in there. I got this.
Wow. Yeah.
You should try it, Toni.
It's on my bucket list.
You should. I listen, speaking of bucket list, I think if everybody has one, you need to do everything in your power to do it. 100%.
Yeah. I'll wait till I can't race motorcycles anymore, and I need the thrill.
I'd be like, push me out of my wheelchair with the parachute on it. Let's go.
Yeah. Hold on to my teeth.
Right here. Hold these. I'll see you at the bottom.
It won't be hold my beer, it'd be hold my teeth.
No, I'll get the beer at the bottom, right? I'll drink it out of a straw till you land on my teeth. Then I'll eat. Let's go.
Right.
Love it. Pat Sheridan. So Pat Sheridan, he lives in Florida. He's big into SFL MiniGP too as well. He said 61 and enjoy every second with these darn kids.
Awesome. That's great.
Yeah, he's absolutely amazing. And then we got my brother Mark Sherman on the show. He says, "Hey brother, what is going on?" You might know them, James Nickerson.
Yep, and Sherry Gray, they are super fans. These guys have been going to the races since probably the early 80s, and they have autographs from every single Canadian racer. They know more about our race history than anybody, I bet. And they always wear Honda shirts. They're team red. So yeah, no, I know them very well.
I love it. I love it. Welcome to the show, James. He says, Toni, you are respected truly within the motorcycle world. With a bunch of heart emojis.
Thank you, James.
And then Tim Landry. Welcome to the show, Tim. He says, hey, from Everly and Tim.
So Everly is a little girl that came to our school, and she's going to be racing this year. So Everly, hi Everly and Tim.
Hello, welcome to the show. That's awesome. I love to, see new kids in the sport. It's absolutely amazing. It's exciting for you. It's exciting for me. It's exciting for the whole motorcycle community, even though they don't know her right now, but they will know her right in the future for sure.
Yep.
It's just exciting for our sport. Again, we got new kids, future legends coming in, and again, that's what it's all about. So.
Yeah, and she can watch the World Women's Circuit Racing too.
WEC, yes.
So that's really cool to see.
I actually got two friends racing in WEC. Mallory Dobbs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Mallory, she's absolutely amazing, super fast. And then Sonia Lloyd. Sonia Lloyd's racing in WEC too this season. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing.
Don't they have 28, Chris? 28 riders from around the world?
They do.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 28 on the grid, yeah.
That's amazing for, it's first year, isn't it?
Second year. Yeah.
Second year. That's really good.
It's amazing, right? It's great for our sport. It really is.
I tried to get one of our Canadians into the series. Her name is Stacy Nesbitt, and she is wickedly fast. And I wish that, I won a lottery so that I could buy her a ride, but we couldn't make it happen. But she needs to be there. She needs to be there.
Well, let's get Stacy there. Let's try to
Yeah.
make it happen. I'm absolutely on board and game for sure. Is she related to Charlie Nesbitt in the UK by any chance?
No, I don't think so.
Do you know who Charlie Nesbitt is?
Well, I shouldn't say so. I don't know. I don't know her family very well.
I got you.
I raced with her father, and I've raced with Stacy, but I haven't. I don't know. And her mom would sing the national anthem.
Nice. Aliki says Stacy is the most talented rider she has ever met. It's awesome.
Yeah, she's very, very good.
And then she says, Chris, you need to interview Stacy. Me and Toni will make this happen. 100%. Me and Toni are going to make that happen for sure.
Yes.
Rick Glover says, as a dad of 6 girls, I love seeing the women kicking butt in this sport. Me too, bro. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Me too. So, we have the BTR program here in America, in Moto America, the Build Train Race by World Enfield. It's all women's, series. Yep. It's an amazing program. I'm a huge fan. I talk to a lot of the girls. It's good for our sport. So absolutely amazing. So Toni, growing up with 2 brothers, flat track racing, trail racing, road racing. I mean, family heritage of racing. It's absolutely amazing. What was your favorite journey growing up, being a kid racing with your 2 brothers? Was it flat track, trail riding, road racing?
I have really fond memories. My father had a motorcycle shop with a partner, John DeGrucci, and we had to work there whenever the shop was open late. We'd have to take the bus out there. It was in Toronto. Take the bus out after school and work at the shop. And I worked in the parts department, and my brothers worked in the service department. And I assembled new bikes, and sometimes I would deliver them, to customers. And 3:00 on Saturday afternoon, we'd load up and off to the flat track. So Welland County Speedway had night flat track every Saturday night. So it was a ritual. Just load up the truck and off to the flat track. And, when I turned 16, I was the oldest. So we got a van. We bought a van, and then we could go by ourselves, the 3 of us. And that's my fondest memories, is the 3 of us going flat tracking every Saturday night.
What a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a beautiful journey. It's absolutely amazing. I have a brother. He's 8 years younger than me. He tried his hand at motorcycles, but let's just be honest. And I love you, Nick, my brother, right? There are certain people in this world that don't need to be on a motorcycle. You're like, bro, like, he can be taught. He just, you know what I'm saying, right? It's like,
not for everyone.
It's not, it's really not. But yeah, I get it. It's a beautiful thing, having that rivalry with your brothers. Do you think that helped you push you to where you are too, and help you progress in your riding too as well?
I never felt like I was competing against them. We were all kind of on our own trajectory, I guess I'll say. And I never felt that it was competition. I mean, there was no trash talk in the van on the way home. It was all like, oh, we got to do this to the bike. And what does your bike need? And we need to get another sprocket because we were fighting over that same gearing or whatever, right? It's like, stuff like that, So it wasn't, maybe like, I guess when you're looking at Marquez right now, there's some brotherly rivalry happening because the stakes are really high. But back in those days, I mean, we just all partied after the race, and the stakes weren't very high.
Love it. I love the rivalry, right? It's a beautiful thing. That's one thing I really enjoy about our sport, is it all starts from mom and dad to daughter and son with that little PW50 or TTR or whatever it is. And we never know. We don't recognize at that age, whatever age we get into it. You could be 30 years old and just say, hey, I'm gonna go buy a motorcycle because I think they're cool and I always wanted one. But at the time, you don't realize how much it's going to change your life. You don't realize the directions it's going to take you in, the love you're going to develop for it. And then next thing you know, you're like, I need another credit card to buy some more of these parts for my bike.
Yeah.
I need to go do these track days. I need track day tires, woman.
Yeah. I see it in the kids' faces at the school. Like, I know when they're hooked. And then it's a matter of, seeing if the parents have the time and the resources to, make it happen. But, you can see that glow on their face, right? When they're hooked. And it's like you indicated, it's not for everybody. And some kids, they'd rather just sit there on their phone. They got a motorcycle right in front of them and they just, no, I'd rather just play a video game on my phone. But that's very rare. We get a lot of kids that get engaged, and the parents come and thank us, the coaches, and we're sometimes it's very emotional. The parents have tears in their eyes. They're just, finally something has struck a chord with their kid, and it's got them away from the screen, and they're just very thankful. I was very surprised and taken aback when the first parents came to me, with that. I never realized that it was such a problem, kids on screens, and to the point of an addiction. And I never realized how bad it was until these parents very emotionally, thanking us.
Well, speaking of that, I'm a dad. My son's 12. He's got a dirt bike. And it's funny because we'll go to the track. This is my personal view on it, just from my own personal son, right? Like he likes racing. He likes the idea. He watches race with me. He loves to go to the races and interact with everybody. He rides a bike at the track, right? Not on the track, but around the pits and all that.
Yeah.
I find that when he is in that environment around younger kids around his age and he sees them ride, he's all excited about it. Once you take him out of that environment, he gets back and put into his natural home base. It's PlayStation, Xbox, Oculus, this and that. And I'm like, bro, let's go for a walk. Let's go do this. Let's go, do that. I'm trying everything I can to get him away from this, right? But
yeah,
what do you do?
It's a strong magnet.
Very much so. Very, very much so. So we got another legend in the house, Jack Butry. Bro, what is up, Jack? He says, hi, Tony. Great to see you on Versus Podcast. It's an honor, Jack. It really is.
Hi, Jack. Yeah, I was lucky enough to race with Jack when he was in Ontario and racing the CSBK Series. Yeah, really fast, cool kid.
Speaking of, do you know a good friend of mine, Lucy Blondell? She's from Canada. She races BTR.
No, not from our area. Maybe she's Western Canada, I'm guessing.
Don't ask me because I don't forgot. I have no idea. I just know she's up north. She's close to she's further, let me get this right, west from you because she's closer to Seattle, the Ridge racetrack out there. So she's
probably BC, British Columbia, if she's near Washington State.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I try to keep. Yeah, thank you, Jamari. Jamari is a absolute proper mega legend in SFL MiniGP. It's her second season. Sorry, Jamari, if I don't remember. I try to keep up. I think it's her second season with SFL MiniGP. She's actually racing with McIntyre race team with Cooper, Arthur, Mason. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Lucy is West Coast. Thank you, Aliki. I figured she was. So listen, how did this whole journey with SFL MiniGP come up to you, and where are you at with it today?
Well, I got back to road racing after doing some enduros with my husband, Jamie, for 25 years. Got married, and we renovated a house and went fishing and camping, and he taught me how to shoot a gun. And, I learned a whole bunch of stuff that, how to swing a hammer and do plumbing and all sorts of things, because my whole life, early life was, racing motorcycles. And then, of course, I worked in the motorcycle industry for road rep for various distributorships. But it wasn't until I got back to road racing in 2018, and that was just from a friend that just kept hounding me, come and ride my Ninja 300. And he hounded me for 5 years, and his name's Phil Hodson. And I would say that John Crosley had something to do with this too. And I finally gave in and said, okay, I'll come and ride it. But I was being a snob because I used to race 750 super bikes, Yamaha, FZR. And I don't know, a Ninja 300 just didn't spark me. And so finally I gave in, and Bruce Parker at Joe Rocket Leathers, he lent me a suit and a helmet, and so all my stuff was dirt bike gear. And then I got on the bike at Moseport, which is a big, fast, high horsepower track. And I went out on it, and it was one of my favorite tracks in Canada. And I just totally sucked. I was awful. I was a pylon out there. Everyone was trying to get around me quickly. And it was just awful because I just didn't have, I was looking for the horsepower, and I just didn't have, the cobwebs were just covering me over, and I just could not get this thing in this session. And that's what really, when I can't get something, I get very determined. I like a challenge. And so I pulled into the pit, and I couldn't even get my helmet open because, I was used to goggles and dirt bike helmets at that time. And I couldn't even figure out how to get the shield open to talk to Jamie. I said, I suck. I'm terrible. We got to get one of these things so I can learn how to do this. So we went and bought an R3 because I bleed blue, and I bought it off of Phil Hodson. And then and now when Jamie's loading the van, he's always like muttering under his breath, fucking Phil, So we're back into road racing full on. And so it was, I don't know, I just felt like I came home, it was, it was a good feeling to get back on the track and to feel that speed, and got a suit that fit me and a helmet that I know how to open the face shield. And then we, that's when I looked around and just saw, all the white hair, and I'm like, okay, we've got to do something. And it really was COVID, COVID coming on in 2020 in the spring. And I was off the road because I'm an on-road salesperson for a distributorship for, I sell Shoei helmets and Motul oil and tires and so on. And the dealers, they couldn't see it. They were limited on how many people could come through their front door. So they want customers to come through their front door. They didn't want salespeople coming in. So I was just at home, on the phone calling around. And then in between phone calls, I started surfing the internet, and I stumbled on Australia, the FIM MiniGP in Australia. And I'm like, what other countries have this? Because it's FIM. So I started looking around. I'm like, the Netherlands, Spain, Italy, Indonesia, Malaysia. Like so many places had this series. I'm like, why isn't this in Canada? And even the States ruled it out in, I think, 21. They ruled it out. I think that was their first year, your first year. And I'm like, I got to bring this to Canada. So that's what I just buckled down and tried to figure out all the pieces that I need to do, and started with a school. I knew that, you got to teach people before they can fly, they got to walk. So that's where I started. And I already had a template for the school because my brother Blair and I started a school with our friend Warren back in the early 90s for dirt bikes. So you could show up and you could just get totally outfitted in gear. And we taught you how to, let the clutch out and ride in the dirt. And then we take you for a ride in the woods with a leader and a sweeper, and come back with a dirty face and a big smile. So I thought, okay, that same template can work. I'll go to a kart track and I'll have all the leathers, and I'll suit up everybody and we'll put them on mini bikes and we'll teach them how to road race and drag their knee. So that's what I started with. And then I had more research and I saw that Mike Correa was doing that in South Florida. So I found his phone number and I called him up, and yeah, exactly. So I phoned up Mike and he was so gracious. He was really, he had patience and he answered all my questions, and he was really great. And, actually, Jamie and I went down to Jennings a year ago, and Mike and his two boys showed up, Juju and I'm forgetting Grayson. Yes. And I got to ride on the track with Grayson, but hear this, like, I was such a dope. I said that I didn't want to demoralize Grayson, right? He had a little, might have been a metric kit or something that he was on. And so I said to him before he was all excited to go on the track with me. And I'm like, Grayson, don't be discouraged if I go by you, because I got an R3 and it's got more horsepower than your bike. So I said, don't be discouraged, right? And so, yeah, whatever. He's out there just like on the inside of me, the outside of me. He's like, and he's riding his little heart out. It was awesome. And he looks so far ahead when he gets into a corner. I just loved being with him and riding with him. And it was so fun. Oh my gosh. I just like came off the track, just bursting, it was really fun.
Melted. Yeah. Big shout out to Michael Carrera, Juju. Juju's doing double duty this year. He's racing in the British Talent Cup and also the Talent Cup here in America. I'm a huge supporter of obviously SFL MiniGP, all the Carreras.
His kids are so cool. They're so polite, and they're really cool to talk with. And Juju was so fast that day. Like, we were changing tires or something, or the gearing or something on the bike, Jamie and I. So we had our heads down, and then we heard this, like, it sounded like a rocket ship just landing on the front straightaway. Just boom. And we're like, what is that? We dropped the tools and ran to the side of the track to watch who that was. And it was Juju. It was really cool.
Yeah, Juju's a legend. He, Michael Carrera, dude, big shout out again to him. He is such an amazing human being, and he raised his kids absolutely proper mega. They are so humble. I personally haven't had the honor to meet him in real life, and I'm counting down the days to where I get to finally give a big hug to Michael Carrera and Juju and Grayson and the whole family, because
they're really nice kids.
Well, without Giannavi now that took it over, but I forget the original guy's name. Rick had posted it earlier. And you doing what you guys are doing, and girls, it's our future wouldn't be here, right? So again, it's an absolute honor to do what you do. And I couldn't imagine the time and resources it did to get that whole program together. Was that something fairly easy to do, or did it take like a year in the making to come all together? Because we know you got to rent a track and the insurance cost and yada, yada, yada. You got to call the promoters and the race, track owners, and, hey, this is proposal. Hey, this is what I propose, blah, 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 blah. Did that actually take a while to do?
I said that I like a challenge before. It was a big challenge. And so it was a lot. I just started off by doing a Google search for all of the go-kart tracks in Ontario, which is the province that I live in. And there was over 30 of them. So I picked 30, and I phoned and emailed all of them. I contacted them through their website. And, I only got a response back from 2 of them. And then I just did another round again, and that was it. Like, I just kept hounding them and hounding them. And so I got in at the one that responded to me. And then once I ran a school at his track, then I was able to say to the other track owners, "Oh, I'm running over at Brecken," so then they had something, because two wheels is a different world than what they're used to, and they're not motorcycle enthusiasts. So it was, that was the first step, and getting all of the gear. Jamie and I decided how much we would throw into the project and just give it a go. And so we had to buy all of the suits for the kids' sizes, but a whole ton of my friends just stepped forward. So I got 30 free suits donated to the school. Yeah, I had all my friends coming forward and bringing me suits, and people in the motorcycle community. Oh, it was amazing. They boots and gloves and everything. So that covered me for all of the adults. And we need adults in the program as well, because it helps with the bottom line. So it's that's how we kind of got started. And we went back to Phil and we bought a big toy hauler off of him, a used one that he'd had kicking around for a long time and had gone through a few racers. And so Jamie traded his street bike for it and a few other things. So we got a big toy hauler, and then we filled it full of all of the bikes, the mini bikes and the leathers and boots and helmets. And then I worked for Motovan, so I was able to make a deal, get some helmets and, for the adults and, other things that we needed. So that's really how we got started. And then I just started, going to the track, and some freight racers stepped forward. "Hey, Toni, can I help you? Help you coach?" And yeah, let's do it. So I have our team is just amazing, because we've developed a lot of the drills that we do and the skills. And if I can brag a little, we've got Ben Hardwick, who went through our school, and we taught him how. He's in the British Talent Cup this year. And then we've got Ethan Reardon and Michael Galvis. They're in the Spanish MiniGP series. And then we've got Lincoln. He's over doing the Italian GP7 series, CIV, in Italy. And then we've got Treston Morrison. He raced our FIM MiniGP Canada Series. He's down and doing Moto America. So, we've got some kids that have come through our programs, and, we're watching closely at their international competitions. So it's really rewarding.
Listen, I would say proud mom moment, because you are proud mom moment right there, right? Like you say, "Hey, I met this kid. He was 4 or 5 years old, barely could ride. Now look at them. They're Italian and Moto America and all these other, ventures in the sport race series around the world." It's, again, absolutely amazing what you do. People don't realize the commitment that it takes to do what you do, what Michael Carrera does. I mean, it's more than a full-time job. 110%.
Yeah.
Again, Toni, nothing but love for you. You are absolutely amazing. 100%.
Well, thank you. It's funny. When I was talking to Michael and others, I was talking to the mini clubs out west. Then I tried to contact there was, at the time, I don't think they're still operating, but there was one in California that was running. And so I just phoned around, and then I started phoning around and talking to Roger over at Fab in the UK. And then Jolly, he's in the Netherlands. I talked to him. So these guys all were so patient, and they spent lots of time with me on the phone, helping me, and telling me what worked and what didn't work for them. So, it was launching that first race series was really difficult because, we have a lot of track days. We didn't have those in the old days. So if you wanted to go around the racetrack, you had to be a racer, join the races. But now there's so many track days that I see a distinct difference. There's the track day rider and then there's the racer. Just because you're a track day rider doesn't mean that you want to go racing. So I made that mistake at the beginning, thinking that, track day riders would want to come and go to the school and learn, race lines and then off to racing, like sort of push them out of the nest and off they go, right? But yeah, it didn't happen that way. So we're pretty much building our racers from scratch. Yeah.
I've been in this sport. I don't want to give away my age, but a long time, right? Been such a fan of it. I got a little bit of gray right here, right? I'm showing my age a little bit, but I quite often find that you got people that want to progress their learning skills to be a better street rider, not necessarily have the competitive edge within them to want to go do racing, right? And that's absolutely okay. The main thing is at the end of the day is to take proper coaching and be as safe as you can. Have that knowledge when situations arise out here on public streets, because it happens quite often, that you will be better trained to handle that situation. Kind of like a Navy SEAL, right? Like you might not want to be a Navy SEAL, but you might want to deal with certain situations. With motorcycles, I feel like, especially nowadays, we got these and everybody's doing this and driving and doing all this stuff, right? So it's almost like we're at war on the street, if that's a good term to use, right? With everybody else driving. I find that you got people again that just, but that's what separates track day enthusiasts that love to ride and love to progress and push themselves, but not on that competitive edge. But then you got men and women that come in the sport are children, and it just consumes us like it does me and you and everybody else in the beautiful circus, right? It's again, I said at the beginning, it's something that as a child we get into motorcycles, we could never imagine where it would bring us in our lives right now as me and you're sitting here having this conversation. What a beautiful life. What a beautiful journey. And there's still many, many years and many roads ahead that we will I can't wait till the day that I actually get to meet you, Toni. We need to make this happen. I need to meet you and your husband. It's going to be absolutely amazing for sure.
Come up and ride some minis with us.
I will make that happen. We will definitely make that happen for sure.
Yeah.
I bring my wife and my son. We ain't never been in Canada, so it'll be a little family trip. My wife,
cool.
So real quick, my wife loves motorcycles.
Yeah. Your dollar will go a long way in Canada.
That's what I've heard.
The exchange is in your favor, so come on up.
I'm going to take you up on that, Toni, for sure. Okay. I still need to make it down. I was going to spend the weekend with Rick Glover and Cooper at SFL MiniGP. We were supposed to go last October to the Heron compound. I was going to spend the weekend and ride with everybody. I was going to set up my laptop and do podcasts there, with all the kids and stuff too.
Oh, that'd be neat. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I plan on doing it. I'm going to do it. I plan on doing it at the end of this year. But we had that big hurricane came through, so we had to cancel it, which I was super bummed about. I was like, oh my God, like finally I'm getting ready to go ride with everybody, meet everybody, and natural weather, right? So it happens. Yeah. We got Ben Hodgson. What is up, Ben? Welcome to the show. He says, I'm 32. My son is 5. I'm not sure which one of us had more fun at Tony's school. You both had fun. That's what it's about, right? And listen, Ben, this is something that you're creating certain memories and bonds that your son will never forget, ever. And it's going to want to raise his child the same way. Hey, my dad showed me the bikes. I'm going to show you the bikes, right? It's a cycle. And it's absolutely amazing, Ben. You are awesome.
So Ben's father, this is 3 generations. Ben's father is the one that got me back into road racing.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you, because without you, we wouldn't be sitting here having this conversation. So
Yeah, Ben's a big promoter of the school, and he runs HB Cycle, and his son Cole came out to our school recently, and he was so cute. He said, Dad, this is better than Christmas and Easter put together. What
Dad's
a
like, I
quote,
need 3
eh?
more credit cards, but you're welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, Ben's in. So when I told Jamie that Cole came out and he really took to it and everything, Jamie's think, okay, yeah, this is karma. Phil got me back into it, and now we've got Cole on the way, right?
I love it. I love it. So we got Clive. What is up, Clive? Welcome to the show. He says, if anyone wants to support the Moto Mini and GP project with sponsorship, please reach out to Tony for the future development of the new riders. You know what, Clive? What I'm going to do too is I'm going to promote Tony and her series too here in America, out there in Canada. So after this, just text me all the info. I'm gonna drop it in. I'm gonna start posting it on the podcast page and all that. Put it out there to get people your way to help future legends of our sport come in, right? Because that's what it's about. Speaking of that, do you have a program to where people can actually donate leathers and boots and gloves and helmets to you too as well? And if so,
Yeah.
how do people do that?
They can contact me through the website, or Tony at supersonicschool.com, and then we can figure out how to get it. That's the problem, when they're far away, then the shipping isn't worth sometimes the donation. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if we can meet up at a racetrack, that's the best.
Well,
And thank you, Clive. He's my spiritual leader.
I love it. Thank you, Clive. So are you currently looking for donations for leathers and boots and gloves and all that good stuff? Back protectors?
Yeah, and even as kids grow, I'd like to get get an exchange program going, so they could come and bring their old leathers, and then they can trade them for a bigger set that I might have hanging in the trailer. So we'll just kind of keep it going.
Recycle. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
We actually, so I'm a Bison ambassador. So Bison Leathers, you see my custom suit right here. They have a program like that too. You have a child that you get them their suit, they outgrow it, you can exchange it, get a discount on the next suit, and then they take that and they donate it or recycle it or whatever, right? It's a great program too. So
Right.
what I'll do for you is I'll put the word out there and I'll try to get you some helmets and boots and gloves and all that. Men, women, child size, all that, because it all helps. Because you never know when people sign up, you look, yeah, I got 30 people coming. Everybody comes in different shapes and sizes and all that stuff. So you got to have the variety for everybody. But I got you, Tony. I got you 100%.
And Clive, by the way, was a national champion. He's won 9 championships. He's a go fast Canadian with quite a heritage. So yeah, he came forward to say, hey, Tony, what can I do to help, a couple of years ago. So he's one of the team.
I love it. I love it, man. This is what I love about our sport is you join our beautiful circus, right? Because that's what it is. Just be honest, it's a beautiful circus where the clowns got to pay to play, right? But it is what it is. But you meet so many, I don't want to say friends, you meet so many family members, right? People that you just instantly bond with for the same love over 2 wheels. So all your different, I'm a big advocate, if you're ever listening to my podcast, that none of us are strangers. We're just friends that haven't met yet. And I truly believe that, meaning that you meet somebody and your energies just don't match, but that don't mean you're not friends. But I guarantee if you spoke to him or her, you would have at least 5 or 6 things in common that you really enjoy. And guess what? All that negative energy, all that clashing goes away, and it's nothing but positive energy, right? And so now you're friends, right? So you were strangers, the energies didn't match, you meet, you talk, I'm a big advocate for that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
well, I grew up in the motorcycle, motorcycle world, I guess, the Canadian motorcycle, because my father had a motorcycle shop, he raced. We all raced. Like you said, what your son does. We rode around in the pits while Dad was competing, and then then we'd all head home. Mom had the day off. My dad would take all three of us to the race that he was going to, and then we're growing up in within the community. So the trials community knows us as kids. The flat track community knows us as kids. Then enduro, all of the enduro crowd all knows us. And then later, the road racing crowd. So it's all one big community, family. And they've seen you grow up and, develop. And yeah, it's really cool. So all ages, right? So it's old and young. It's all the same. Actually, I'm very much everybody's equal. So it doesn't matter if you're young or old. I'm you the same. And then because it's mutual respect. And then some of these kids that are coming through the school and how they're developing their friendships with the other kids. I see that respect passed on. It's really, I think that might be something like what you're trying to say is that we're just all in it to win it together, right?
Absolutely. It's funny you say that because when I was growing up, my mom would always use this phrase, it takes a village to raise a child. And I'm like, whatever,
Yeah.
Mom, it's you and Dad. Dad's gone. He's a fighter pilot in the Navy. So I only seen him a couple months of the year because he was 6, 8, 9 months out, right? So I'm like,
Oh,
I said, BS, Mama, it's just you and Dad, right? But now that I have a kid and I see it, I'm like, yeah, absolutely. But the same thing
yeah.
goes for a racer. It takes a village to raise a racer, just as it does a kid, right? Just like everything you're doing, it takes you, the organization, the mom and dad to get him there, him or her there, and then boom, there we go. So it's that village.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So we got James. Absolutely awesome podcast. Thank you, James. It's an absolute honor. You made my day, buddy. You made my day. Tim says, yo, I'm glad I caught this. I'm glad you did too, Tim. I hope you're enjoying the show as much as we are. Dustin says, filling up the Zamboni, listening to this podcast. It's a good Monday. It's a proper mega Monday, my friend, is what it is. Proper mega for sure.
Yeah, Dustin's a lightweight racer as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it, man. I love the community. It's Aliki says, Dustin, I love that turn. Can't imagine that. Okay, I missed a comment somewhere. I'm sorry. Alexander?
Yeah.
Stefan says it's been only a day and he missed the talk with you in the racing 2 weeks. It's too long for the next class and school sucked today because he wasn't bike racing. That's a fact.
Stefan is one of our FIM MiniGP kids this year. He's going after the top 2 spots. He wants to go to Europe for the World Finals in November. So he's got his O'Valley on order and it's on its way here. And so exciting times. He did really well on the weekend. We launched one of our MiniSBK races, which is our grassroots race series. And so he raced for the very first time on, and he rented one of our O'Valleys. Well, his parents did. And he tore up the track. He did really well. He finished second to Jaeger Stockhill.
I love it. I love it. And you being in a position, again, I already said it, proud mom, right? You see all the energy, you see all the love, you see the kids come out of their shells, you see them grow, you see them get faster, you see them progress, which in turn brings you this certain happiness that you wouldn't have got anywhere else watching this and growing the sport too as well. So again, I can't stop saying it, Tony, to you, Michael Carrera, Gianovi out there in North Jersey. Listen, if it wasn't for you guys and girls we wouldn't have a future of our sport. So it's nothing but love. It's absolutely amazing. And again, people don't understand the time, the effort that you guys and girls put into this to make this all happen. It's a lot. I know it
You
is.
know what? When somebody reached out to me and said, "Hey, Wayne Rainey wants to talk to you," and I said, "Oh, really?" So then a phone call was set up, and Wayne and his right hand man, Chuck Axelin, called me, and we had a chat. And what we're going to do with the MiniSBK series is run 2 Moto America Mini Cup qualifiers. So Canadians can get 10 points towards going to the final at Elkhart Lake in August. So that's pretty exciting. And on our phone call, on our phone call, we were saying, I said to Wayne, I said, because we raced, I'd say we raced together back in the 80s, but it was never wheel to wheel. He was a lot faster, and he was racing for Team Honda at the time. But that when I was racing at the AMA level in the States, I remember him, and he remembered me, kinda. And then I said, "So Wayne, racing was pretty fun and everything, and but I never remember reading a rule book, and now I've written one, and I don't remember like working all winter on paperwork and sponsors like I do now. Like, it's just crazy." And he said, "Yeah, you know what? I think putting a helmet on is a lot easier than running a race series." And so I'm doing it on a micro scale compared to what he's doing. I mean, hats off to him. He's got full-fledged TV coverage and everything. I mean, it's amazing. But it's a lot of work that I never realized. And a fella named Colin Fraser, I don't know if you know him, Chris, but he ran and started the CSBK and ran it for 40 years. And he also worked for the AMA for 4 years, I believe, AMA pro class or pro series. And when I was trying to put this all together, I phoned up Colin, and we would meet for coffee, and kept pitching ideas at him, trying to see what I could come up with to get the sport going again, And he didn't really spark on anything until I came up with this FIM MiniGP Canada Series, and that I was like, you know what, I think I need to go to Europe and talk to all of the organizers and tell them face to face that we want to bring this to Canada, and we're serious about this, because the emails and just wasn't working. So Colin said sure. So we jumped on an airplane, and we went over, and we met with FIM and Dorna and Dovali, and I just told them, like, this is what we're going to do. Showed them step by step, and we finally got it. So with Colin's experience and everything, and he's been guiding me along. So like you say, I can't do it without all the teamwork and the village around you.
100%. It's imperative you have the village around you, and it's the same people, that same love, same passion, and we do it out of selflessness. We don't do it to gain anything from anybody. We do it strictly from our heart, because we want to see our sport go back to the golden era, what it used to be, right? Let's just be honest. And again, without programs like you and SFL Mini here in Jersey, it wouldn't be possible. So.
The track that I went to on the weekend and raced, was a provincial race, right? It used to be at Shannonville. There was a series there, and we would, in the 600 production class, there would be over 60 riders that wanted to ride in the final. So that would mean 2 heats ran, and then they'd take the top 15 out of each heat, and then they'd have a last chance qualifier, and just 2 would come out of the last chance qualifier. And then that was it. All the rest of everybody would have to just sit and watch the races on Sunday. Well, now it's hard to even get a full grid of 32, right? They're around 20, in the 20s. And if you show up, you run. But back then it was like knock down, drag out. It was really fun. And that's kind of like, when you say the glory days, that's what I'm trying to gun for, get it back to that.
That's what we're all gunning for, is to get back to those glory days, get back to where it's feasible for most people to go road racing. Outside sponsorships coming back in, the big sponsorships, your program, Michael's program, all that has a part to play, right?
Yeah.
It's pieces of a puzzle. Everybody
Yeah.
has their piece they're putting into it, right? Which brings up the whole picture. Without that piece, we don't have that picture. So it's super important. Again, you do what you do. I do what I do. Everybody does what they do.
Yeah.
Everybody does what they do. Right, in our beautiful circus. It's absolutely amazing. So we actually have Alexander says Toni is so polite and so patient with the kids. I don't know how she does it. Listen, patience is something that me as a man, I had to learn how to do, and my son really forced it when he got in this world, like learning patience. It's Toni, to me, seeing Michael Carrera and Toni and the Jersey and everybody else doing these programs, it takes a certain commitment, it takes a certain love, a certain passion, and certain people to make it happen. Toni's an absolute legend, right? Just like Michael and everybody else doing it. Again, it's an absolute honor to do what you do. It's amazing. I just can't say it enough because, yeah, it's the best thing ever. It's the best news ever. The future sports of our kids. I mean, come on. That's what life's about, right? So Mason, his dad Lee, remember I told you McIntyre that the SFL MiniGP says, is there a fly and ride program for MiniSBK in Canada? Would be cool to fly up and rent an valet to race an event up there.
Yeah, that is normally available. And Mason, we'd love to have you come. But right now, I'm a little short on valleys. All the kids are renting them all for the FIM MiniGP Canada Series. So, but let's stay in touch because we're trying to get some more bikes, and I'd love to have you come up, Mason. That'd be great.
I'll put y'all two in direct contact for sure because they are absolutely amazing.
Sure.
Yeah, they're an amazing family. They're super fast kids coming up. Mason, Arthur, Cooper, Jamari, and I mentioned to you this earlier. Yeah, they're absolutely amazing. So yeah, and again, big shout out to Rick Glover because without Rick introducing me and you, we wouldn't be doing this podcast. So yeah. It absolutely amazing. Well, listen, we're an hour and 14 minutes in this podcast already. It goes by so quick. There's just so much to talk about. So we will definitely sit down and schedule a part 2 so we can continue our journey on the whole SFL Mini. And listen, I just want to tell you this.
Toni, I'll have some updates for you.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. And if there's anything I can do to help you and Canada grow SFL Mini as far as getting leathers and boots and all that stuff out, or advertisement or anything I can do, please let me know. I'm here. That's what I want to do, is help grow the sport too as well. So anything, you name it, I got you 110% within my power anyway. Right. So yeah. This has been a lot of fun, very informative. You, my friend, is an absolute legend. You should be proud of yourself, Toni, for what you created and what you've been achieving.
Well, thank you. But I'm really proud of my team, and I'm, you can't do it on your own.
No.
And
it's that village. It's that village.
Yeah.
I love it.
I have a lot of helpers, can I list some of them for you?
The floor is yours, Toni. Take it away.
Oh, I lost you.
Can you hear me now?
So we have Thomas Katz. Yes, I do. We have Thomas Cassis, Jake Leclerc, Justin Marshall, Connor Campbell, Alan Burns, Nick Wicksack, Andrew Leam, Nick Zangari, Jeff Riley, Colin Fraser, Clive Negakeen. Oh, I'm going to forget some people. Rats. There's a lot of them. I'm trying to think of them all. Yeah, I can't do it without them. They're one guy that I used to race with back in the 80s. His racetrack name is Sprout Campbell. And we used to knock handlebars and had really fun. Well, this guy has come forward and he's just like, not taking just one hat. He's wearing like 6 hats, he's doing so much behind the scenes and, going to the track and staying there with me for a week, running schools and then races. And yeah, so, it's unbelievable. Like I've got a friend that used to come to the track and help me change tires back in the 80s. His name's Stacy Iwata. He lives out in BC, and whatever he can do long distance, he helps out, and he's part of Team Canada, comes to Spain to help out. We've got even Jordan Zoke showed up once to help us set up the bikes and, with the suspension. Got Brooklyn Cycle helping us. It goes on and on. It's unbelievable. Everybody's really coming together and just saying, what can I do? What can I help with? So it's really cool. It's just, that big family feel.
It's again, it's the village, right? And
yeah,
being in this beautiful circus, doing what you do, seeing all the love and support from everybody coming out of the woods left and right, hitting you up. It's an honor. Absolutely amazing, because people want to see our sport, take off and get back to where it was. And
yeah. Well, thank you, Chris. I've enjoyed this, and thanks for inviting me on. I know you've had some pretty highfalutin guest, so I feel very honored to be on your show, and you do a great job. So thank you very much.
Listen, Toni, the honor is all mine. You are just as much as a legend as everybody else I've had on this podcast. We're all same passion, same love for the same sport, and to me, it's important to get everybody's story and journey out there to complete the beautiful circus, right? The whole story, because everybody, again, it's puzzle pieces, right? It's everybody has their own little journey of what they brought to the sport, how they help it grow. And a lot of them have jobs inside the sport after they hang up their leathers, whether it's coaching, helping SFL MiniGP, data engineer, whatever it is. It's giving back to the sport as much as they given me, right? So it's an absolutely beautiful thing. But listen, before we get off here, Toni, I have not forgot. I want to get to some of these personal questions. So maybe somebody might find something about you that they never knew before. Right. So first question is growing up, having motorcycles and still obviously being involved, have you ever named any of your motorcycles?
Yeah, I watch Itchy Boots, and I see that she calls it Frankie or something.
I think it's Frankie. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I haven't. Sometimes when a bike won't start and I'm kicking it, I'll say, "Come on, Bessie," like the old-fashioned person cranking their old Model T Ford at the front. I think they used to say, "Come on, Bessie." But no, I'll just make a joke that way. But I don't have any names for any of my bikes. No.
Do you have any pets?
No. Well, I had a pet when I was growing up. I had a hamster, and it would go in the wheel all night. I called it Spinner, and then Spinner got out, and I lost Spinner. And then we found Spinner in the basement probably a month later, and it was a little tiny hamster rug at that point. It was all flattened out. Yeah, that was my only pet.
Funny story you said that. Growing up, I've had a couple cats. I love dogs. So I haven't not been without a dog since I was 19, but I had a hamster. It's bad I forget the hamster's name. It was a teddy bear hamster, so it was this little fat furry thing, and it was so cute, so fun to I was a little kid. But hamsters are super smart, so I didn't have a lock on the cage, so I took a tie down off your trash bag or whatever and put it on it. Thought I was going to be clever. No, I wake up the next day. Where's my hamster at?
Yeah.
I hear my mom screaming downstairs. This little shit done got out of the cage, went in my closet, ate a hole through the drywall, went downstairs, ate another hole. So it had its own like little tunnel system throughout the house, right? Where it would just escape at night, and we'd find little gerbil poop here and little gerbil. That's how we knew he was getting everywhere. So
yeah.
I had him for quite a while. He ended up passing away of old age, but it was a lot of fun. I caught his ass one time. So I was putting it on there, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to catch you doing this. So this little dude, he would get up and like monkey bar across, drop down and stick his hands through the cage and just untie this thing and pull it out and just drop it and look at you like,
yeah,
I'm smarter than you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good stuff. Good stuff. So are you a coffee drinker?
I used to be a coffee drinker, and if anyone asked me, if they're going to go do a coffee run, I'd always say, yeah, I'll take. How do you want your coffee? I'll take. Maybe I shouldn't say it online, but anyway, I drank coffee for a long time, and then I quit probably 10 years ago. I don't drink coffee. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. I gave up all of that. I did enough of it as a young kid. In my 20s, I thought I was super cool. And I even smoked cigarettes for a while when I was sponsored by Gauloise Blonde in France. I thought it was so cool,
Yeah.
But I quit all of that stuff. I just do clean living now.
I love it. I'm the same. I used to smoke cigarettes when my son was 6 months old. I quit. Picked up vaping, right? Because vaping's the healthier alternative. And then I quit that. It's not. It's really not. So I quit that probably, I don't know, like a year ago. What made me drive me to that was my son. I'm like, bro, like I ask you this, you tell me you're gonna do something, but dude, you haven't done it yet. So let me tell you how smart my son is. So one day I come in the house, I'm vaping. He's like, Dad, you get on me saying this and that, but you tell me you're going to quit vaping, but you don't ever quit vaping. So how do you expect me to say what I'm going to do and keep it up, uphold to it when you don't do it? And I was like, you little smart ass, right? Like, okay, like I need to, this is that point to where, so I said, you know what? Here's my vape. Here's my batteries. Here's my juice. Go throw it all away. And that was the end of that. So,
yeah,
teaching my son to when you say you're going to do something, you absolutely got to do it, right? So, yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you this: tell us something we don't know about you at all.
I don't know.
Well, there's got to be something like I don't like broccoli, or I wanted to be in a rock band when I was a little kid, or.
Well, I wanted to be an architect.
Nice.
Once I learned how to pronounce it when I was young.
Once I learned how to spell it.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to be, was an architect. But I didn't really like school. I always felt that I didn't fit in, and I wasn't a stellar scholar. I wasn't straight A's. And I couldn't wait to get out of school. Grade 13, the last day, I remember just sitting there watching the clock, and it was ticking towards 3 o'clock. And I knew that would be the last time that I'd sit in a classroom. And I couldn't wait to get out of there and get on with racing and everything that I wanted to do. So, yeah, I just, that school wasn't for me.
Yeah, I had a lot of those feelings too. I just felt like I like the the community with the friends at school with the same age of kids and girls, right? But other than that, it was like, I remember saying to myself when I sat in a math class, she's like, Z plus Y equals what number? And I'm like, those are letters and numbers. They don't belong together. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm never going to use this, right? Like 90% of the stuff I learned in school, I don't even use today. Of course, you're writing in English and math, but other than that, it's like, yeah. So I feel you on that, Tony.
It's funny though, Chris, is I once I got out of school and then I had to use math for figuring out gear ratios, for instance, when the rake of the front end, or thousands
Swing
of
arm pivot,
the piston and wall clearance, valve clearance,
the ringing gap.
Yeah. So now I started thinking, once it could be applied to something that made sense to me, then, I like math. I like math. I actually, a friend, when it came to English, I didn't enjoy it in school, but I was at a motorcycle function, and a friend walked up and said, "Hey, Toni, I think you'd be a good person to write articles for Inside Motorcycles. I want to give you a regular column." I'm like, I can't write. I'm not a journalist. I did that for 10 years, so it was like, when it can be related to something that makes sense to me, then I'm all in, and I like it. But school never made sense to me.
Yeah, I'm like you. I think that's this is a little rant real quick, but I think that's an issue for a lot of schools is every child learns in their own way. They have their own likes, their own dislikes. If you can find a way to tap into what they like and teach them that certain subject, you will see them excel big time.
Yeah.
But they don't, right? It's just, this is what it is. You either learn it or you don't, whatever. So yeah, I feel you on that, Toni. 110%. So let me ask you this. What's your worst habit?
My worst habit? Eating sugar. I'm trying to get off sugar.
She's like, Sour Patch Kids are my worst enemy.
Well, I got off of those. I won't eat any gummies or anything like that because it gives me leg cramps. But if it didn't give me leg cramps, I'm sure I'd still be eating them. But I'm a sucker for home baked goods. If anybody walks up and they've made cookies or cake or whatever, I'm all right, carve me up some, because I just love home baked stuff. But yeah, I got to get off the sugar. It's not good.
You know what I'm a sucker for, and I've never said this before on the podcast. If somebody makes a homemade lemon pie or the lemon pound cake, I love you forever. I love lemon pound cake.
That's so my husband's Jamie. His favorite is lemon meringue pie.
So good. I love lemon. I love to cook. So I implement obviously fresh limes, fresh lemon, and pretty much anything makes a big difference.
Yeah,
I'm 110% with you. So I like your husband 110%. We're gonna get along really well. So when I come down there, I'm bringing a lemon pound cake just to let you guys know. We're gonna eat it up for sure. Oh my God, I love it. So everybody knows that I'm a huge into audiobooks. I listen to a lot of audiobooks. Do you listen to any audiobooks? And if so, what could you recommend to the listeners?
I don't, but I've listened to a couple, but one that I liked was Skeptics. I can't remember the title now. Skeptics' View of the Universe, something like that. That was a good one, because it was a couple of university professors that were just very inquisitive, and they would just take a subject and they would just practically, with critical thinking, figure out if it's true or not. So I liked learning how you never take anything at face value. You use critical thinking and you think it through and you research it. And so that was a game changer for me.
I call it having an open mind. right?
Yeah.
Like think outside the box, always ask questions, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm just like you with that. So I'm currently listening to this book right here. It's called Change Your Diet, Change Your Mind by
Oh,
Georgia EDE. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah, I'm I was a fat kid. I weighed 200 and almost 80 pounds, like 272 pounds. I was in a 40 waist. I'm in a 34 waist now. I weigh about 208. Um, all by change your diet, change your mind, right? Same
Yeah.
thing. It was what helped me the most, honestly, Tony, was listening to my body, what my body was telling me when I eat food. My
Mm-hmm.
nose would get stopped up. I'd start sneezing. My nose would start running. I'd feel a certain type of way. It's that part of too is being tapped into yourself and really
Yes.
listening to yourself. Okay. And that's what really helped me um on my journey, which I'm still on, losing weight, right? There's a lot to be said to that for sure. As far as podcasts go, do you listen to any podcasts at all?
Not regularly, no. Oh, well, I shouldn't say that. I like Diary of a CEO. I listen to that one.
I listen to him too.
He has a lot of good guests on.
He does, and his uh his approach to it's really good too as well. That's
Yeah.
what helps me get along with it. So yeah, it's Jamari says really enjoyed the podcast. Thank you, Jamari. I
Thanks,
can't wait to sit.
Mari.
Yeah, dude, I'm sitting down with her at the end of this month or next month. I can't remember my schedule. Like I'm currently scheduled for September right now, just to be honest with you. So it's hard for me to unless I pull up my calendar. But yeah, so
Right.
I'm getting Jamari on. She's absolutely amazing. What is your favorite holiday?
Hmm. I think probably, well, I would say Christmas. That's when most of the family will get together. We don't really celebrate Easter or Thanksgiving by getting the whole family together like we do at Christmas.
Yeah, I'm so as far as Thanksgiving goes, I'm totally unorthodox, right? I'm like, I don't eat turkey.
No.
Why do I want to eat turkey once a year just because it's Thanksgiving? Like, no, I'd rather have a big ass ribeye steak on the grill with some mashed potatoes and asparagus and homemade gravy. Like, yeah, so I feel Halloween's one of my favorites. I love
Yeah.
Halloween. I love horror flicks. I love scary movies. So the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
dressing up and scaring little kids and all that good stuff
Right.
is really enjoyable for sure. So yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you this. What's your spirit animal?
What's my what?
Spirit animal.
My spirit animal? Hmm. I guess a tiger.
I love it. I love it. A tiger. Um, if you could travel back to any era in time, what era would you travel back to?
Do I have to go backwards? I can't go forwards.
You, it's all you. You can go forward if you want to. Absolutely.
As fun as the glory days were, I I I just feel everything's getting better and better. Um, so I joke a lot of times that I need a time machine because I want to go faster. And I figure if I was 30 years younger, I could go faster on the track. But really, life just keeps getting better and better. So I don't really, um, historically, I don't really want to go and visit any of, it got resolved. We got through it and it got resolved. I don't want to go and relive it again.
I love it. Good answer. I've never had nobody say that. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Do you watch like the Alaman do you watch any road racing, Moto America, BSB, World Superbike, any of that?
Not regularly. I do like to keep track of my main man, which is Fabio Corderero. I like to keep track of him and how he's doing because, I bleed blue.
Look, here's my son, Rossi. Say hi to Tony.
Hi, Rossi. How are you?
being a heathen. Look, he got money in his hand, so he's getting ready to ask something. Go on and ask it.
Do you have $20 in your account?
Yeah, I got $20 right here.
No, in your account.
Yeah, right here.
No, your account.
Yes.
Your AOCCENT.
That's not how you spell account, but you was close.
Are you a motocrosser, Rossi?
She wants to know if you're a motocrosser. He's got a dirt bike. He's got a brand new dirt bike.
I wouldn't. I don't want to.
He don't want to be a motocrosser.
I don't want to be no type of racer. I just want to ride.
You don't have to be a racer. You could just ride. Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, trail rider.
Yeah, trail rider. Do little track days every once in a while.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
Neighborhood
riding, huh?
just ride.
Yeah, I've never. It's something that I also learned. That was hard for me personally, and I don't think Rossi's ever heard this. But as being a dad, being such in love with this sport, obviously I had all these aspirations. Like, hey, my son's going to be the future MotoGP world champion and all this and all that. And then I found out pretty quickly that he just, throughout his journey of his past 12 years, he's just not really into it like I am. He likes it and he loves it. Again, like I told you earlier, he gets around kids his age. He's all into it, right? So it was hard for me to
change the dream, change your dream.
Tony, exactly what you just said, right? It was difficult because I had these aspirations and my heart was filled with all this, right? But at the end of the day, I realized that, Rossi's his own individual and his own person. He has his own likes and loves and dislikes, and it's okay that he don't love the same things I love, right? But that's what makes us unique and individual as we are humans walking this earth. So, but I've never forced Rossi to do anything that he never wanted to do. I always ask him, hey, do you want to do this?
Well, let's pick up your socks, right, Rossi?
Tony, this is a whole, listen, we still go through that right now as it is. I guarantee I'll walk out there. I'm like, bro, I asked you 3 days ago to pick up those clothes. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot, right? But yes, you are so right on that. Absolutely. But yeah,
right.
it's it was, I've never said this before on the podcast too. It was I don't want to say devastating. It was just a little heartbreak moment for me, because I really wanted him to, obviously I love it so much. I was so excited to introduce him to it and hoping that he was going to, take off and run with it. But maybe one day.
When we have a dream that we're all in on, it's disappointing when reality sets, right? And I mean, then you got to reset.
You do. It's but again, it's a beautiful thing because he's into his own things, and I really enjoy the things that he's into as well. Giving him that confidence and that inspiration to pursue your dreams or whatever it is you want to do. You just got kissed live on the podcast.
I want you to take this and after the podcast, we got a food line. You gotta go first because Mom won't take me.
I will take you to food line as soon as I get down. I'm almost done. Okay?
No, I don't care how long it takes.
Okay. High five. Give me my $20.
Yeah, put that right there.
So yeah, it's
hold on to it for me.
It was and I haven't said it a lot, but it really was difficult for me, Tony. But at the same time, seeing the joys that whatever it is that he likes, of course, the whole video games and whatever it is, he loves to swim. I'm a swimmer, so he always wants to go swimming in the water. But it brings me joy seeing him smile doing what he really loves to do, even though it's not the same passion that I have.
Yeah.
Acceptance, right? So, yeah.
And you never know. Some kids will do it on their own terms later. You never know.
Yeah. And I say this all the time. And the main reason why I do this podcast, obviously, is to help grow this sport and give the voice to otherwise that people wouldn't have. Is at the end of the day, is for my son. That way, if I was to, drop dead 10 minutes from now, he could always go back to Spotify, iHeart, whatever, and listen, see me laugh, see me smile, see the love and the joy that these two wheels always brought me. So it's to me, that's the most important thing for sure.
Yeah.
110%. Well, listen, Toni, this has been absolutely proper mega. It's an honor to have you on the podcast. I cannot wait for part 2. So I'll give you a text with some dates and we'll sort it out for our second episode. Looking forward to planning something in the future for my family to come out there and hang out with everybody out there in Canada and do some SFL mini racing, right? Well, I'm slow. I'm not fast. I'm just showing up to have fun anyway. So yeah.
That's what we're all doing.
It is one of my favorite things to do too is meet all my friends in life, right? So sometimes I meet them and then I have them on. Sometimes I have you on and then we meet in person. And to me, that's that full circle journey of friendship, you know, same passion, same love for the sport. Then we finally meet each other. We're like, well, what is up? And it's just nothing but just positive, just energy, raw. I love it.
Right.
So
thank you, Chris. It was fun.
The honor is absolutely all mine. I just want to say real quick before I end this, listen, thank you so much for everybody that watches this podcast. If you have not had a chance, please go like and subscribe on all of my channels. It's nothing but love for every single one of you guys and girls. If it wasn't for Toni and everybody else coming on here, I wouldn't be able to do this. So again, I love every single one of you guys and girls out there. I got to do my little shout out on my list real quick. Big shout out to Next Level Financial, BisonTrack.com for your custom suits, Chef Eats, TST Industries, the ClothingKings.co.uk. I've been saying that for like almost 2 years. I should remember it by now. But you guys can go to that website and order all your Pin to Gas merch out there in the UK. Big shout out to Superbike Supply, hashtag Do It For Dad, SFL MiniGP, right? A big shout out to SF Canada, United States. Big shout out to them. You guys, the American website is miniUSASBK.com. That's where you find all the schedules for SFL MiniGP out here in the United States. Toni, what's the website where you guys are?
It's called RoadRaceCanada.ca.
There you go. So if you're out there in Canada, go to that website, sign up, go meet Toni, go get some training, and at the end of the day, go have proper mega fun because that's what it's about. Big shout out to RD Racing and my mate Jake Marsh out there in the UK. For all my veterans, my buddy Jim has a program called Vet2 Track. His whole motto is curing PTSD one lap at a time. It's an absolutely amazing program. Big shout out to Flying Eyes Optics for all your sunglass needs. You can use the discount code Pin to Gas. 64 Degree Racing. My man Tate, he makes undersuits, 64 degrees. Absolutely amazing. He sent me 2 custom suits. Hands down, my favorite 2-piece suit. I do have a Venom suit coming. I'm super excited about. And I say this to everybody, Toni. You can do a track day, especially a weekend, or you just going to show up one day and it's super, super hot. Bring 3 undersuits. Don't just bring one. Because you're out there on the track sweating. You come off the track there, you can be like, hey, man, what's up? Everybody's going to be like, oh, my God, right? So bring more undersuits than you think you need. Bring more undersuits than you do underwear because you go wear undersuit home. So big shout out to all the undersuits, right? So GhettoCustoms.com for all your custom bodyworks, Carnes Performance in Pennsylvania, KYT Helmets America, K-Tech Suspension. Big shout out to Birch, Kendall, and Dakari. Ready to Race in North Carolina, Coleman Power Sports in Virginia. If anybody has ever wanted to do a track day on a MotoGP track, look no further than McLeoEscapesTrackandTour.com. I need everybody to go to Road Racing World and donate to their air fence fund. It's imperative that we have those air fences. If we did not have air fences, corner marshal workers, and the ambulance, guess what? We're not having fun. So please go donate, whether it's $1, $5, $10, whatever it is. It really helps us out. Same thing with SFL MiniGP. They all take donations. It's imperative that they have them to keep the classes going, the leathers, the boots, as we talked about earlier. It's absolutely amazing. And thank you so much. We all appreciate it. Big shout out to STG, Brian Van and Max Van. If anybody's in the market for custom decals, I got 3 friends that make the most proper mega decals. You can go to Drip and Wet, Chris Crizel, Reese at REB Graphics, or Gus Rodeo, which is an absolute legend that races in Moto America. He has his own company called grggraphics.com. So there you go. Big shout out to Venom Undersuits. Super excited to get my undersuit from Aliki. Big shout out to BTR, Build Train Race program here in America for all the women. It's an absolutely amazing program. I freaking love it. It's so good. You know, one thing that watching, being in this industry as long as I've been in track days, racing, yada yada yada. When every woman that I see throw a leg over a bike and they go out there, they're so smooth. It's like I would give anything to learn to be that smooth naturally. Like we're men, we got to grab the bull by the horns and blah blah blah. It's like we got to train ourselves to be that smooth, which is kind of hard. Whereas women, you get on there and just natural, and you make it look so easy, Tony, but it's not that easy. At least for me anyway. So big shout out to Racer 411 program at tippingracing.com, California Superbike School UK, King Performance, Turn 12, and Obsession Engineering. It's a lot. Tony, is there any shout outs you want to give? How can people find you? Show up, subscribe? Oh, I think we lost Tony. Maybe she'll come back in here in a second. I don't know what happened, but Lewis Butchery, great podcast. Have a great evening, man. I'm looking forward to me and you sitting down together. Again, and I can't thank everybody enough that watches the podcast, that likes and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. It's an absolute honor. Hopefully Tony will pop back in here in a minute. Before I end the podcast, if you guys didn't catch the beginning of this, you can, as soon as I end this, you can go to my YouTube channel and rewatch it instantly. As soon as I end this, or my Facebook page, which is Chris Simcoe, not Pin the Gas Podcast. That's my other affiliate page. But if you go to my personal page, you'll be able to watch it there too as well. Yeah. So it's been an absolute honor to sit down on this Monday with the legend, Toni Sharpless. Again, thank you guys and girls so much for tuning in. It's an absolute honor. And yeah, I guess on that note, I'm gonna wait for her to come back in maybe in a second or two. Hopefully she'll jump back in. If not, it's been absolutely proper mega time and looking forward to seeing everyone again soon. Stay tuned. I got a couple more podcasts coming up this week. And one more quick thing. If anybody's going to make it to Cycle Jam at Road Atlanta at the end of the month, I will be there. My son Rossi will be there too. So trust me, you cannot miss us. We'll be running around supporting all our friends. Make sure you pull up, say hi, and hopefully my stickers will be in because I'm planning on bringing them, and I'll be handing out a bunch of podcast stickers. So yeah, let's go. Again, thank you so much. Absolute honor. And on that note, good night, world.
Calling all two-wheel enthusiasts, get ready to rev up your earbuds with Pin the Gas Podcast, the ultimate motorcycle racing podcast, hosted by Chris Simcoe, one of our very own excellent leaders here in Roanoke, Virginia. With expert analysis, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive writer interviews, Pin the Gas Podcast delivers the adrenaline rush of the racetrack straight to your ears. Whether you're a diehard fan or a curious newcomer, you'll gain insights that will transform how you watch and understand motorcycle racing. On your favorite podcast app, join Simcoe as he takes you on a high-speed journey through the world of motorcycle racing. Pin the Gas Podcast.